Between Apple's App Store and the Google Play Store, there are tons of extremely useful apps out there designed to make our everyday lives easier. Some applications exist to waste space in the App Store and eat up our time, or at least that's what it seems like. If you use your smartphone like most people do, to check your email, surf the web, play games or send text messages, you've probably never heard of these apps. That's because they won't help you do any of these things. Here's a roundup of the strangest, stupidest and most pointless apps we could find. Tap that yes, it's exactly what it sounds like, if you have a dirty mind. And if you own an NFC-enabled Android smartphone running Gingerbread or higher, your device can, well, fornicate with another compatible smartphone through the app. I'd go further into detail, but this video from the developer pretty much sums it up. Electric shaver. We use our smartphones for a lot of things, but personal hygiene certainly isn't one of them, and hopefully never will be. This app basically makes your phone's screen look like an electric razor. And by that I mean it just displays a power switch on the screen similar to most flashlight apps, except those are actually useful. When the switch is turned on, you guessed it, the phone buzzes like an electric razor. INAP at work. Yes, there are some people that are so lazy they invented an app to get out of doing work. While INAP at work opens a new tab, won't actually save you from angry glares while sleeping on the job, the premise is amusing. The idea is that the app would make it sound like you're working while, in fact, you're actually sleeping. You can preset certain sounds such as clicking, typing, crumpling paper and stapling to occur, often, or never, depending on your preference. Coloring book apps with subscriptions. Coloring book apps are starting to make a splash in the Android ecosystem. Unfortunately, some of them have some problems. Many of them, including the popular Color by Disney, want you to pay a subscription service in order to use their coloring book app. Here's how they generally work. You get a little bit of content for free, which usually isn't very good. And then you have to pay every month to get the good stuff. Some of them charge as much as you'd pay for Netflix or Hulu. Subscriptions on some types of apps are perfectly okay, but coloring books aren't one of them. It's a little strange coloring something digitally and thinking that you pay every month for it. We don't recommend these. Farter. Farter is an app that grades your flatulence. It actually works rather well. You hit a button in the app, rip 1, and the app measures the sound and gives you a score out of 100. Additionally, the app produces a snowflake-like visualization of your fart based on its pitch, volume, and length. You can even share your results with others. This app is hilariously well done for how useless of a function it provides. We wonder if the developers will do one for belching as well. If they do, they should call it Burper. Human-to-animal translators. We talked about random apps that don't do real things. However, we felt like apps that did that to animals deserved its own slot. There are a variety of human-to-animal translators, dog whistles, animal sound effects, fake laser pointers, and whatever else people can think of. Obviously, they don't work, which means these are just really fancy noisemakers that your animals probably hate anyway. You can get squeaky toys at the pet store that make the same obnoxious noises, but at least you have the comfort of knowing your animal. We won't tell you not to get these useless apps, but we really should. Please note, these don't include apps that make animal noises for the purposes of education for kids. Phone cleaner and cooler apps. It's basically common knowledge that phone cleaners, memory boosters, and phone cooler apps are functionally snake oil. Thankfully, most of these apps come as big packages, so they're very easy to avoid. So, here's another reminder for you folks in the audience. Android manages how your tasks work and automatically shut them down over time. Basically, the same thing applies to memory boosting and CPU cooling. These apps should probably be banned from Google Play. They simply don't work. Useless button. Useless button is one of many apps in this category. Some developers have a sense of humor and make applications that do nothing at all. Useless button is a fairly standard example of this. You open the app, it has a red button, and pressing it does nothing. We've seen variants of this with blank screens when you open the app and some with decently designed buttons. However, my favorite isn't on the Play Store anymore. It was an app that opened and then immediately self-terminated. These useless apps are everywhere and they're easy to find with a simple search. Keyword apps. Keyword apps are apps where the developer names the app after the keyword people search for. For instance, Linked at the button below is Music Player by the developer Music Player. No, I'm not kidding, although if it's been a while since we updated this piece, the developer may have taken it down. You can find these everywhere. App lock is an especially bad category for this, and game genres are the literal worst. Here is a game that was once called Evil Nun, scary horror game adventure. These apps constitute a large amount of the useless, copycat, same old, bloat in the Play Store, and the keyword name actually bumps legitimately good apps down the list because Google's search algorithm is getting worse and worse. If the app doesn't have a real name, there is a very high chance. Duplicate phone apps. It's not nearly the same problem that it used to be, but a lot of OEMs still develop and ship phones with duplicate apps. For instance, every phone has Gmail as its stock email app. However, OEMs like Samsung insist on shipping phones with a second email app, linked at the button below. Duplicate apps bloat up the app drawer while not adding any additional functionality. In some cases, it's fine. For instance, Google doesn't force a calculator app. So an OEM calculator app is welcome because it's the only one. Again, this isn't nearly as big of a problem as it used to be, but it's still annoying when it happens. There is a conversation as to whether OEMs provide the bloat or Google forcing apps on phones does, but I don't think the internet is ready for that conversation. Ghost Radar. Ever felt any paranormal activity around you? This app will detect it for you. But the app description will surely make you believe so. According to it, it can detect uttered words by ghosts and that it is better than traditional ghost detecting equipment. And even the comments add a cherry on the top. Well, I can't be fooled, mate. Anti-mosquito. There is a lot of confusion regarding this idea. Can an app actually repel mosquitoes by emitting ultrasonic waves? This is, in fact, not a new idea but has been tried by numerous radio stations around the world as well to attract audiences. But a quick Google search and you would understand that the idea has absolute no scientific backing and is completely nonsense. In some cases, scientists have even suggested that the apps may actually attract mosquitoes. Pocket Fan. Android, free. An app with a fan on the screen that starts rotating on touching. After the release, some users actually complained that the app didn't work as there was no air coming out of the phone. Later, the developer had to edit the description to include an explanation that went, "This app will not actually cool you down." I can't believe I had to clarify that. Wind will not blow through your screen. If you think you feel wind coming from your screen, seek medical attention immediately. And also a disclaimer, Android does not currently support blowing air through the device's screen. Wait for a phone update maybe? I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe our channel for more updates. Thank you.